He's one of the most thoughtful and polite boys I have come across. He's a wildlife conservationist and a research student. During his free time, he loves writing poems. So please welcome the first speaker of the day, T.M. Lalith. Indian parenting, T.M. Lalith.
When I was going through my childhood album, all those nostalgic memories just kept rushing into my head. At that point of time, I saw a particular picture which helped me select my CC2 novel. It was a picture of me and my cousin brother playing cricket. When I was 10 years old, my aunt from Canada had come down to India for her winter vacation. Then, as a cricket enthusiast, I was teaching my brother how to have a go at the cricket ball. Drenched in a deep conversation, my dad and my aunt walked out of the house. And then, they were watching us play cricket. At that point of time, my aunt called my brother up close and spoke. She said, "Sweetie, I don't want you to play on the street. It's very unsafe." She said, "Can't you find another place to play?" And my brother says, "Mom, I really want to play. I want to learn cricket." And then she says, "If you keep playing here, you'll get hurt real bad." And then he says, "I don't care." At that point of time, I was standing there, gaping at their two faces, wondering what would happen next. At that point of time, my aunt told my brother, "Sweetie, please understand. If you get hurt real bad, mommy will become sad. You want to make mommy sad?" At that point of time, my brother goes up to her and says, "Okay, sorry." And then my dad calls me. And I'm like, here goes nothing, and I just walk up to him. And he says, "Lalith." My eyes open up. I'm like, "Yeah." And then he says, "Lalith, I don't want you to play on that street. If you keep playing there, a car will come and hit you and you'll break apart." The best part was, my house was located at the dead end of the street. And he was so sure that that particular car would come and hit me. And coming back to my topic today, you might be wondering, why am I giving a comparison between my aunt and my dad? This is to highlight Indian parents, how Indian parents are. And Indian parents have these three stages. First is when you're a tiny toddler. When you were this small, every time you made a mistake, it wasn't considered a mistake. Your parents came up to you and said, "How cute." And then, this is where all the problems start. We grow up, we become teenagers. At that point of time, every time we did a mistake, it was actually a mistake. Things changed. Every time you came back home, your parents started saying, or in fact asking, "How much did you score in your exam?" Instead of asking, "How was your day at school?" then they would be like, "Where's your bag? Where's your books? Are you preparing for your next test? Are you preparing for your internals?" Instead of asking, "How was your day at school? How did your day go? Was there any problem at school? Did you eat your food?" Or a warm hug would give such a positive impact to the child. After this is when everything starts. This time, when you grow up, you become an adult. And at that point of time, every time you make a mistake, it's a crime. And times change, parents never change. And this in particular is with Indian parents. Coming back to your school days, what was that one single weapon your parents had to unleash on you every time you never listen to them, every time you never study. The only thing, comparison. Have you seen that girl? How he studies? Have you seen that girl? She's so disciplined. Comparison is that one most powerful weapon a parent has towards his child. Over here, comparison is something that parents fail to understand. And today, I would like to demonstrate what comparison is really about with two of my best friends. Mr. Onion and Mr. Carrot. Mr. Carrot, why aren't you round like the onion? Onion, why aren't you orange in color like the carrot? Carrot, why aren't you leafy like the onion? Onion, why do you smell all the time? Trust me, it makes no sense when I compare a carrot and an onion. Does it? And this is what every Indian parent is doing every single day. Why does it not make sense when you compare a carrot and an onion? Because each vegetable has its own identity, has its own characteristics. Right now, I would like to say, every kid has its own identity, its own character, its own emotion. So as humans, none of us like being compared. You know, parents compare their children to such an extent. At one point of time, you know, when a parent walks into a PTA meeting and, meets the friend of their child, the first question that they get on their mind, how much did your son score? If it's a little less, trust me, he never studies. You have to see the younger one. He always studies. The elder one never studies. That's why he's become like a donkey. Parents are actually not acting like parents. They've become umpires and referees. They're judging everything they do. And that too, they do it right in front of the small one. And parents themselves are bringing in negativity between two people. And the last part, judgment. If you judge a fish by how it climbs a tree, you'll make it believe that it is stupid for the rest of its life. So I would like to say, to be an effective parent, first you have to stand in the position of the child, and then at the end, someday if your son or daughter comes up to you and says, "Daddy, I failed at my math test," you would say the most meanest possible things. You would say, "You're not my son anymore." And you know what your son is going to say? "Relax, Dad. It's just not your DNA test. It's just a maths test." Thank you.